Hello, I'm John Caulwell. I'm an associate attorney with the law office of Will M. Helixon, and I'm here to introduce myself and give you a little bit of insight into who I am. So, let's get started. I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I was one of 5 children. I grew up on a small farm, 10 acres of land. It was a good way to grow up, so I would consider myself more of a country boy than a city boy, I suppose. What's my educational background? I have a Bachelor's of Science in Education, grades 7 through 12. That's English education. I have a master's degree in military law, and I have my law degree from the Indiana School of Law from Bloomington, Indiana. What were my previous Army assignments? So, I attended basic training and officer candidate school at Fort Benning, and then I attended the Armor Officers Basic course at Fort Knox, Kentucky. Then I got my first actual real assignment from 2002 to 2006. I was stationed at Ray Barracks in Germany. The first 4 years I was actually a tanker in the armor branch, and I was a tank platoon leader, tank company executive officer, and then a battalion maintenance officer. We deployed to Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was there for 15 months from April of 03 to July of 04. And then I deployed again for another 6 months in January of 2006. But then I was lucky enough to actually get accepted to the Army's funded legal education program. And I went to law school then from 2006 to 2009, as I said before, at Indiana University. And after law school, I was at Fort Leonard Wood for 4 years, from 2009 to 2013. There I was the chief of claims, the chief of client services. I was a trial counsel, which is prosecutor in the Army. I was a special assistant U.S. attorney, which is basically I prosecuted all these civilian offenses on the installation. And then my last job there at Fort Leonard Wood was chief of administrative law. Then I went to the graduate course, the Judge Advocate General's graduate course in Charlottesville, Virginia for a year. That's where I got my master's degree. I was there from 2013 to 2014. And then 2014 to 16, I was in Alaska at Fort Richardson. I was a senior defense counsel. And then 2016, came back to Germany, and I was at the 7th Army Training Command in Grafenwehr, Germany. I was chief of administrative law, and then the chief of military justice. Left Grafenwehr in 2019, and I went to Wiesbaden, Germany for my final assignment in the Army, and that was Deputy Chief of Claims for U.S. Army Claims Service Europe. And then I retired in October of 2021. Why the law office of Will M. Helixon? Well, service in the military is a privilege and an honor. And with military service comes, I think, the rightful expectation that each individual, each service member gives the absolute best of themselves at all times. And that's a fair expectation. That's a rightful expectation because the defense of our nation depends on it. But that's not always an easy thing for everybody to do. Be on their absolute best behavior, their best conduct, the best decision making, the best at all times. We're human, we're fallible, we make mistakes. And I believe that every service member, every person, deserves to have somebody in their corner when that human nature comes upon us and we make a mistake. And I felt that the law office of Will M. Helixon is an amazing team, and I wanted to be a part of a team that had the privilege and honor to serve soldiers when they need it most. So that is our job here. We defend you while you defend the nation.